Welcome to another deep dive edition of the Chicks on the Right podcast. Really, really excited because we have with us special guest Kaylor Betts, who is the host of the Awake and Winning podcast. He's a life and business coach, and he has some very interesting habits, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But Kaylor, we were introduced to you from watching some of your videos on Instagram, and you kind of started out as a person who was kind of down in the dumps, had some troubles in your own life, and then you found a way out, and now you also coach other people on how to do the same. So give our audience who may not know you yet, but they'll be happy to know that you are a conservative, give our audience sort of the background of what got you into this line of work and your transformation.
Yeah, I'm a bro on the right, so I think I'm in the right place. I'm a bra on the right.
Oh my God, gift giving season is upon us. And I'm so excited because listen, the best gift that you can give right now is My Pillow. I don't know why people haven't thought about this, but we need to tell them My Pillow, you can get free shipping right now with code CHICKS.
Yeah, and that's not going to last forever.
Right. 50% off My Pillow 2.0, 50% off 6-piece towel sets, 50% off the My Mattress Topper 2.0. I mean, oh my God, these sales are ridiculous. The My Slippers right now, regularly $139.98. They're $49.98 right now. You have like
I'm wearing them
pairs
as we speak. I know.
Yeah.
I cannot survive a day without them. They're always on my feet.
It's insane. They also have bathrobes, blankets, mattresses. They have those little travel pillows. I have like 3 of those in my car because I always have like sleeping teenagers back and forth from swim practices. They have pet beds. You guys, they have everything. Gift My Pillow to the people you love. Do it.
Do it. And all you have to do is go to mypillow.com/chicks. Make sure you go to that website. You're going to see all the great sales. And then also make sure to use code CHICKS at checkout. That is how you're going to get the best deals and the free shipping. mypillow.com/chicks.
So, look, I like to often, I'm going to try and give the cliff notes because I could go on forever about my story, but down in the dumps is one way to put it. One way I often put it is I was in a battle with my mind. So what was really interesting about my story and why I think a lot of people resonate with it is because I actually had all of the external and conditional factors in my life to be happy and to live a high quality of life and to live my highest potential, but I wasn't. I couldn't get out of bed. And when I say I had all the external and conditional factors, what I mean is I didn't have a story that would be put in a movie. I wasn't a drug addict, although I did abuse substances. I didn't almost, commit suicide, unsuccessfully. I wasn't homeless. I lived I grew up in a moderate, income family. Although we did struggle at times. Both parents were together until they divorced when I was in grade 10. My parents were there. They're not perfect, obviously no parent is. And I could go on about some of the things that happened in my upbringing that were hard, but again, they're not, Hollywood type of material. So really at the end of the day, I think why people resonate is because, like I said, I had all the reasons to be happy, but I wasn't. And turns out when you aren't showing up for yourself, and you're abusing substances, you have unhealthy coping mechanisms, and you don't put in the work, it turns out that you can actually become pretty mentally ill. And it affected my life until I woke up one day and I was like, you know what? It doesn't have to be this hard. I went to the Western clinical establishment that is supposed to be there to help you when you're going through these struggles, or the professionals, if you will. And really all they had to offer me was, some pharmaceuticals really quickly without asking me about my sleep, my diet, my relationships. Do I have a spiritual practice? Do I have a mission that I'm on, or a purpose or meaning in my life? Like, let's check your biological markers. Nope, just prescription pad right away. And I thought, well, there's got to be more to just taking a pill and talking to a therapist in a collared shirt for an hour every week, and that they charge me $200 for. There's got to be more to this. So I got into the alternative health space. And it turns out when you go on a relentless journey of upgrading your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health outside of the establishment, outside of what they're teaching you in the Western clinical establishment. It turns out if you just stay on that path and you get pretty obsessive about it, you end up being in a place where I don't have it all figured out, but I'm pretty fucking happy. It's pretty amazing. I have to pinch myself where I'm at. Like, I genuinely feel incredible.
And now you're teaching others to do the same, which
One of
is
my
pretty
favorite
awesome.
quotes, one of my favorite quotes is Young Pueblo. He says, "A hero is someone who heals their own wounds and then helps others do the same." Now, I'm not going to proclaim myself as a hero, but that quote really resonates with me. That's the journey that I feel like I'm on. I feel like I almost have a responsibility. There's way too many people out there where the system is failing them and they're sick. They're fat, sick, weak, tired, and broke. Okay, let's just be honest, like I was. And they don't even know that there's alternatives out there yet. So that's part of why we do what we do.
And I love that
And-
because I'm so sorry, Miriam. I just because
No, you're fine.
Well, you said that you feel like you have a responsibility, which I love because one of the things that I saw, I can't remember where I saw it. It was probably on Instagram because that's where I spend a lot of my time. But you talk about finding your mission and how it's about finding your gift, finding your mission, how important that is. And it resonated with me because I'm like, we did that 15 years ago. And I used to, I mean, I wasn't down in the dumps, but I remember before we started Chicks on the Right, I always used to feel like something was missing. I was like, it's like there was a little puzzle piece, or I just felt like like I jumped from job to job. I was like I was personally very happy. Like I had I was married. Everything was great. It's just that from a career perspective, I was like, I just hate what I do. It's like I just was never happy. And until I met Miriam and we started Chicks on the Right, nothing career wise fit me. It's like I felt like I was just going from thing to thing. And that is, I think you're so right. You're so dead on when it comes to finding your gift, finding your mission. And people, I think, are told in our society that, oh, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. And I think everybody does have a gift. It could be just something little, but to them it's huge. And I think it's important that you spread that message. I think that's a really good thing that you do.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Look, finding a gift, it's not a privilege, it is a human right. I think I'm of the belief that everyone has a gift. And I think that's the purpose of life, is finding your gift, and then the meaning of life is to give it away. And
Right.
I think that's how we essentially find meaning in life, is to be of service. I mean, just try to relentlessly be of service, doing stuff like you guys are doing, whether it's starting a podcast, whether it's starting a not-for-profit, whether it's starting a blog, writing a book, posting stuff on Instagram, whatever it is. Just try and relentlessly pursue service using something that you are good at. And just try and be depressed. I mean, for sustainably, it's really difficult. Try not to look. You're not giving yourself a fighting chance to live your highest quality of life or potential if you don't have a mission. And you know how many people are getting prescribed antidepressants or benzodiazepines or ADHD medication that if they just simply went out, and guess what? You don't necessarily find your purpose. You go out and build it and create it. You know how many
Right.
people that would be way more effective for than an antidepressant in their overall mental wellness and physical wellness, if they just went out and built and created a mission. And sometimes that doesn't happen overnight. Sometimes you think you have something and then it fails or it doesn't work out, and cool, take the feedback. You either win or you learn. So if you don't
Yeah.
win, you learn, and then you shift and you pivot and you go. One of my favorite quotes, Winston Churchill, he says, success is going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. So just keep going until you find what it is that you were put on this earth to do. And boy, magic happens.
Mm-hmm.
So what do you tell people who are in that space where they're just like, I'm not good at anything, or I'm not interested in anything, so I don't know what my mission is because I just don't feel motivated to, I don't feel motivated to do anything specific. What do you do in your coaching practice to help people find their why?
Yeah, I would say that, look, I didn't feel like I had much of a gift when I was laying around in bed, eating a bunch of processed food all the time, eating my my emotions, with nicotine and marijuana and abusing alcohol and drugs and watching too much Netflix and, not cultivating deep connections and relationships, not meditating, not having a spiritual practice, not going to the gym and moving my body, not doing breath work and cold therapy and saunas. Yeah, I didn't really feel like I was too worthy of going out and having a mission either, right? I didn't graduate high school, right? So what I would say is, I get it. I've been there. Go out and do some shit, right? Like just do anything, honestly. Like I would say, like sign up for a cooking class, go to dance classes, interview and pick someone's brain that you look up to and ask them for a coffee. Um, Ask someone you look up to if you can shadow them for a day. Take a trip somewhere. Go to a poor country. Volunteer. Like do some stuff. And not only that, but also take better care of yourself, because I guarantee you that 99 times out of 100, if someone tells you like, I don't have a gift, I don't have anything to offer, I'm not that special, whatever, they're not showing up for themselves.
Yeah.
Right. So show up for yourself and then go try some shit. Right. And like, again, you're not going to find it right away. It doesn't always come to you in this, Hollywood like cinematic moment where just, oh my gosh, now here's my purpose. It's like, no, you got to go out and you got to build it and create it. So
Yeah.
that's what I would say. And look, it's a marathon. People are so impatient nowadays. If it was easy, everyone would do it, and it wouldn't even be special. It's going to feel very special when you do it because it takes you a long time. Look, I tried to start 6 businesses. 4 of them were colossal failures. 2 of them were successful for a bit until they failed. Like 6 businesses over a decade of doing things that sucked, hard things, failures before I found this, which is what I was put on this earth to do. It's a marathon, right? Don't expect to find it right away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So is it weird to be in this space and conservative? Because you're kind of a hippie, like you're a conservative hippie a little bit, and that's unusual.
Yeah, it is. Well, I think I think there's been a massive shift. I think a lot of people through COVID have, like pre-COVID, I would have said I'm pretty liberal, only because like I wasn't actually super into politics. And I was more like, well, yeah, like, I'm like, I'm a good person, right? And that's just the narrative that you get fed, right?
And that
Like
makes me liberal.
if you're a good person, you're liberal
Yeah.
because you're accepting and blah, blah, blah. And then I started, over COVID, I started to learn about the establishment. And I started to realize the way I really look at it is some people really struggle with, liberal, conservative. That's what we call it up in Canada, Democrat, Republican. I think a really good place to start is how much involvement from the establishment do you believe in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you believe in a lot of involvement to economically, fiscally, socially, the list goes on, healthcare, all that stuff. If you believe in a lot of involvement and regulation, then you're more to the left. And I really, over COVID, quite frankly, I just said, the establishment, I don't have barely any trust in the establishment or the government. And I feel like the more they try and regulate, mandate, have their hands in things, the worse things get.
Yeah,
and I think
that's
obvious.
That's conservatives now. We're like the punk rockers. We're the anti-establishmenters now. It's weird because it used to be 40 years ago.
Or like, even the defenders of things like free speech,
right?
Right. That's a shift. That used to be primarily more of a liberal thing. Like you should be able to go to. So it's this really weird shift where you see a lot of hippies actually realizing that it's also a traditional values thing, right? So the hippie movement nowadays is less progressive, I would say, and more like let's change things. And it's more, let's go back to what's ancestrally consistent. Let's go back to what we've been doing in human history forever. That's why I resonate with conservatives, because I have traditional values. Like just look at the way human history has been. And yeah, there's some things we've upgraded and improved, but not the basics, not the fundamental principles. I think that, if one wants to live their highest quality of life, a man should be a man and embrace his masculinity. A woman should be a woman and embrace her divine femininity. And they can come together in a divine union and have a bunch of kids and then be on a homestead and live from the earth and,
Yep.
you know, have animals and be able to be free and do what they want. And so long as it's not hurting anyone. And, you know, yeah, that's what I really resonate with. And that's why I would say, yeah, like I'm a hippie on the right.
So, I think I had told you this once before, but Charlie, who is, oh my God, he is my boy's dog, Charlie. He has smelly ears. It's not funny, Mock. It's not funny, but he has really smelly and yeasty ears. And so he's a German Shepherd. German Shepherds get that a lot. Those nasty, itchy, allergy-like ears with all the hot spots and everything in them. And nothing has worked. They put him on all the drugs. He is like 7, 8 years old now. They've had him on everything. The only thing that has worked for him is coat defense.
I guessed it.
Yeah,
That's
you
why I
guessed
have
it?
this ready and I'm showing it on camera.
It's coat defense. That's the only thing that's worked. And it's the wonderful preventative powder that they put in there. And it's like it sucks up all the yeast. The stuff is absolute magic. They also have a balm that you put on their nose, their little toe beans. And they also have like a mud. It looks like a mud. It's fantastic. It's great for like cuts and scrapes and everything for dogs. We use that a lot because our dogs are always getting into something out in the pasture.
They're always tussling.
And it's just fantastic. Their stuff is fantastic. It's all natural. Literally, if they eat it by accident, it's okay because it's just all natural and organic. Fantastic stuff, you guys.
And it's good for cats. It's good for horses. And they even have human products. You have got to check it out. You can save 15% with code CHICKS when you go to coatdefense.com. That's coatdefense.com.
But I'm a high maintenance hippie too. Like, I mean, even just look at what I'm wearing. I mean, this is not hippie attire, right? So
that's true. But you do tan your balls.
I do tan
and
my balls.
So
we have to talk
seems
about
like
that.
a very hippie thing. And so we need to understand why you do it, how you do it, and when you started it, what do you gain from it? Because that
is it really weird. Is it balls or is it your taint? I need to understand. Like, because I understand. Like, we need to understand. I need to know exactly what you're tanning and why.
Area.
Like, what area is it? What is it, Kaylor?
In 2023, my response can just be, "Well, you guys try it. Tan your balls because you guys are."
Listen, and
you guys can look. If guys can have periods, and you know, like guys can get pregnant nowadays.
Taylor.
So okay,
we know the difference. Yeah, believe it.
Okay, so I guess you guys can't just try it, but that would be my answer. But you guys can. It'll just be different, obviously, for obvious reasons that I don't need to mention. But you guys can try it as well too. It's tanning the genitals that's really where the magic happens. Look, there is actually some from a male's perspective with their genitalia. There is some data to suggest that everything from testosterone production, increased human growth hormone, and sperm quality as well too, and other benefits as well. So, you know, I heard that and I'm like, look, science can be very incredibly flawed, right? So I'm aware of data. I look at data, but at the end of the day, to me, the best data that I could try for something that's low risk is, well, if you do it properly, there's some risk there, I guess. Don't be out there too long.
There's drones, Kaylor. There are drones and Google Earth.
I'm not ashamed. I'm not ashamed. If you want to go ahead. Okay. I'm. That's where my hippie will come out and say, "Hey, I ain't afraid." But I would say that I just try things. That's my best data that I get. The best experiment I can do is pick something that is relatively low risk, do a little research, make sure you do it properly, and then try it. And look, I'd be lying if I said part of it isn't just like a fun thing that I think is hilarious that I do, and people
and
also
it's warm,
find hilarious.
And you live in Canada.
Exactly.
And it warms your balls. Yeah.
But it works. So you asked, so ideally it's like your legs are way up in the air and it gets not only the balls, but the taint and what's the scientific term for asshole?
What is it?
The anus.
Is it the anus?
There we go.
Okay.
You're welcome.
We're very scientific here on the Chicks on the Right show.
Exactly. It's a portal, right? This is what the hippies would say. It's a portal. And it makes sense to me too. if sun is incredibly good for your skin because it gives you vitamin D and all
Vitamin
these
D, yeah.
amazing hormonal things end up happening. It's good for mental health, neurotransmitters. It's just really good. Sit in the sun for a little bit, not too long, and then tell me you aren't in a better mood and feel better and healthier, and tell me your libido doesn't go up. So I tried the genitals because I thought, well, makes sense. If it's healthy for skin, why might it not be healthy for the genitals? And I just feel great. And the libido goes through the roof. So I
Okay.
would just say anyone who wants to try it, do it and give her a
I
go, give her
wonder,
hell.
and honestly, I'd love to see a study done on this because they say
There
that
has been.
testosterone, like, really, I have to. Okay, I'd like
Yeah.
to go. I'd like to see some of this because they say that testosterone levels in men have gone down significantly over the past 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
So this is really interesting stuff, to
Yeah.
see if
There's Carnivore Aurelius. I don't know if you follow him on Instagram. He's got an amazing, I got to give a shout out to him. He's got one of my favorite Instagram. It's
What-
Carnivore Aurelius. So AURELI.
like Marcus Aurelius.
Yes, I think. Yeah, like
Okay.
Marcus Aurelius. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So just go on there, and he does a lot of posts on sunning your balls, and he posts like some data, like some legitimate scientific data on
Okay.
sun on the balls. I don't know if it's like a double blind placebo controlled randomized
Is there
study,
a
but
name for it? Because sunning your balls, we got to think of, like, there's got to be some sort of a name, like, for this rather
Yeah,
than
it's-
just,
it's-
hey, sunning your balls. Is it
yeah,
is
it's
it ball
called
sunning?
no, it's called the Kaylor practice. That's what it
Is it the
that's what
Kay-
yeah, we're starting that trend right now. I'm
Oh, really?
Kayloring.
It's Kayloring? Is what it is?
Tailoring.
It's
It's like a whole
Tailoring.
verb now.
It's
Yeah.
tailoring. Okay, I love
Yeah,
it. All right.
I'm the
so,
father of it. Yeah.
so okay, so speaking of the carnivore thing, because now that you brought that dude up, which I'll have to look him up. So there's a lot of crap out there now. People pushing like the carnivore diet and the keto diet and AI protocols and paleo and all that kind of stuff. And then there's like celebrities taking Ozempic just to be skinny, which drives me insane. But what's your nutrition philosophy? Because I'm really into the nutrition. I love reading nutrition books. Not that I follow all of them, but I'm curious what you eat. What do you eat?
So my philosophy is to try it all
Uh-huh.
for 30 days, and whatever you feel incredible on, whatever significantly lower, because there will be one that significantly or entirely gets rid of your ailments, whether it be mental health, whether it be an autoimmune ailment, digestive ailment, whatever it is. Try them all for 30 days. Be vegan for 30 days. Be carnivore for 30 days. Be paleo for 30 days. Be low carb for 30 days. Be high carb. Be there's a lot out there,
Right.
So do them all. Maybe avoid the extremes, like the weird ones, but try them all. And for me personally, carnivore, I mean, like,
You're a big
it
carnivore
changed.
guy.
Oh my God. Well, I'm not a big carnivore guy in that everyone has to be carnivore. I'm a big carnivore guy, and I tried everything. And I'm telling you right now, I had chronic fatigue syndrome, chronic ocular migraines, eczema, psoriasis, depression, anxiety, ADHD, mood disorder for sure. And when I eat nothing but meat, I just had Gary Brecka on my show yesterday, and he's like the next big thing. He's incredible, and he broke down why I feel so incredible on carnivore. And for some people it's going to work. I mean, I'm batting a very high percentage of anyone who has any ailment. I say just eat meat, and it sounds fucking crazy. When
It does sound, doesn't it? Really does, right?
When I first did it, because Jordan Peterson's
Uh-huh.
daughter
His daughter,
does
his
nothing
daughter,
but carnivore. It saved her life. They were the ones that made me. I was literally still struggling. I tried everything. I was vegan for almost a year. Tried everything, and I'm like, this sounds insane, but like, what have I got to use? And I'm telling you right now, after 4 days of eating just ribeye steaks, I was like, this is how I'm supposed to feel.
Interesting.
I'm telling you right now, I am so clear-headed. I feel like I'm on a smart drug when I'm on carnivore and keto as well too, low carb, because sugar is my issue. It's not as much the meat, it's the removal of all the things that my body does not do well with. My gut gets inflamed and doesn't do well with, because everyone has differences. So I'm not saying everyone should be on it, but just try everything. Because for me, when I tried this, man, I wouldn't even be able to do this interview. You would notice a difference. I'd be like a different human if I was eating like even just a whole food diet with like lots of fruits and veggies and, you know, this, that, and the other thing. I just, and that's not going to be the result for everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. I hear you.
So I'm
Yeah.
not
Well, and I
dogmatic
appreciate
about
that you
it.
say that.
Yeah,
that
I
you say
do.
that this is what works for you.
For
You're
me.
not like telling everybody to go do
Exactly.
it.
No,
Exactly.
but what I won't accept is someone who tells me that it's crazy before they've tried it.
Yes.
Mhm.
I
Because
hear you.
you know how many vegans and I don't even know how you guys eat, and if you are plant-based, that's totally fine. You know how many plant-based folks I've gotten to try carnivore because they're like, I'm still tired. I still have
Right.
brain fog.
Yeah.
I still have digestive issues, whatever. And I'm like, hey, I have nothing against what you do. Just try it. What have you got to
Try
lose?
it.
30 days. And I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty insane.
Do you
For some
seriously like
people.
really eat nothing but meat ever,
when- and-
always,
and when-
forevermore?
And when you say meat, you're talking just cow. You just eat cow, right?
So what I personally do, because I feel my best when I'm just eating
Cow.
ribeye steaks, cow,
Mhm. Yep.
or ruminant animals. Like I'll switch it up. You know, I could eat some lamb, bison, whatever. Sometimes some poultry. I will, like, depending on what I have, honestly, like if I don't have a heavy week of interviews or meetings or whatever, I'll add in some like other things like avocado or some cucumber, mushrooms, even some like sour cream. It sounds really weird, sour cream on the steak, like so that I can stay keto because sugar is my biggest problem. I found that out. I did a gut test, but keto. But Saturdays are my flexible day. So I usually, like, if I'm going for dinner with a friend, I might even have a vodka soda or two. I might even order a burger or whatever because I just know that the next day I fast on Sundays so that I can just like let my digestive system and my gut repair and like reset. And then by Monday, I'm feeling pretty good again. And then I go right back into my week. But yeah, it's just like, and I know it sounds insane, but guess what? I also have no cravings. Like if you would have told me before that I would be able to not eat breakfast, fast for days, eat nothing but ribeye steaks, I would have said that's crazy. But it turns out it's kind of like when you smoke cigarettes, of course you crave cigarettes. If you don't smoke cigarettes, you don't really crave cigarettes.
Yeah.
I genuinely don't have a problem with it's weird. So if you guys haven't tried it, just try it for 30 days. Just try it. It sounds
Yeah.
insane. You never know. Your
Mhm.
cravings will go away. That's one thing you can be assured of. When you don't eat sugar or carbs, you don't feel the need to have them.
It's so interesting. It's all very, very
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah. Thank you for
Yeah.
answering that. And then I
course.
had another question about the mouth taping because I'm also interested in that too because I've been reading a lot about the mouth taping. Like I don't know what you like the hostage tape. It sounds so oppressive when you like, especially that brand because it's called hostage tape. But like so many people are doing this for so many different reasons, all sorts of reasons. But you know, we're menopausal women, so you're talking to old broads who don't sleep a whole lot. Like we, you know, both of us talk about a lot when we get up because we do our podcast really early in the morning. And a lot of times, you know, we just don't. We have really weird interrupted sleep. So I've often thought about doing it for that reason. Plus, I also have migraines like you. And so just a lot of neurological reasons I would do it. But I'm afraid. I'm afraid to tape my mouth because it's so like, oh my God, I'm going to put tape on my mouth and have to just breathe out of my nose. Like somebody's strangling me. I can't do this. Like
Hold on.
it is the Christmas and holiday season, you guys. So it's time for gift giving parties with friends and family. And you get compliments everywhere you go and look years younger if you're using Genucel. From now until Christmas, Genucel's most popular package is better than 70% off. That's 70% off at Genucel.com. Treat yourself and a loved one to the absolute best skincare in the world with its immediate effects. See results in less than 12 hours, guaranteed, or your money back. That stuff works. I use it every single morning. Plus, included in every most popular package is your free hyaluronic acid serum for skin hydration that will restore your youthful appearance.
It's amazing stuff. We have used it forever since way before they were even a sponsor of this show. You can check it out and take advantage of these amazing sales by going to genucel.com/chicks. Make sure to use promo code chicks for an additional 10% off. That's in addition
Insane.
to the more than 70% off the most popular package right now. Every order also, by the way, today is instantly upgraded to free express shipping. So they just keep piling on the bennies. Genucel.com/chicks. Make sure to use code chicks at GENUCEL.com/chicks.
The mouth tape, 100% you got to try. Everyone thinks it's like a, a torture practice. Look, I take tape. You don't need anything crazy, and you can even order on Amazon tape that's like an X, and you can put it over. Like, you don't have to have
So
it
there's
covering
still like
your
a little
yeah, still like, so if you really
An
need it,
escape
and
route.
guess what? Guess what? Our bodies are incredibly intelligent. If you get to a point
Mhm.
where you can't breathe in the middle of the night, it wakes you up. Even sleep apnea, no one, I mean, I shouldn't say this, I don't know, but people don't often die of sleep apnea, right? So if you, and I even just take a strip of tape and I put it diagonally so I can breathe out the sides. And it just needs to go over kind of the middle of your mouth, just so that you're not relying on breathing out of your mouth during the night. Now, all you have to do is read one book. It's called Breath, or it might be Breathe, by James Nestor. And the entire book is about how bad mouth breathing is. And we're talking like there is an insane amount of data,
Mhm.
and the results are staggering. So they're really, really insane. So even to the point where you will become less attractive over time, because it
Right.
actually changes the facial structure of your face
Hmm.
if you breathe too much out of your mouth.
Mhm.
And then there's so many other benefits.
Like your teeth, it helps the
My
overall like
dentist,
health of your teeth. Like you don't get as many cavities, all
my
that kind of
dentist
stuff.
is like so bullish on taping
Yeah.
your mouth.
Mhm. Yeah.
Nervous system benefits, vagus nerve
Yep.
benefits, hormonal benefits, just oxygen in the body.
And then you're not
So many
snoring.
different
Like you're
things.
not snoring.
Yeah.
Like it helps just with that. And so if you're sleeping with another human every single night, it'd be great if both of you were not mouth breathers, right?
And some people will say, well, my nose is congested, so I can't. And what James Nestor would say is your nose is congested because you breathe too much out of your mouth.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So it's like a never-ending
Yeah.
circular problem.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you could start with just like taping your mouth during the day and trying to, when you don't have to talk, and breathe through your nose, and then slowly but surely work towards at night. But yeah, I know it sounds scary.
It does. It sounds terrifying.
No,
Completely
no
terrifying.
one's dying from taping their
I know,
mouth when they
right?
sleep.
I'd have to
Unless
obviously
it's like
start like
duct tape, you
Right.
know, and
I know.
someone plugs
I'd
their
wake up.
nose.
I'd
or
wake up at 1 a.m. and like rip it off and start freaking out. Yeah, that's like.
Yeah,
But I'll
yeah.
try it. I'll try anything.
Give it a
I'll try
shot.
anything once. Yeah.
Give it a shot.
And what about ice baths? Because this is a thing that I'm super like fascinated by the people that can just do it for minutes at a
Yes.
time. I try because I understand that there's benefits of like cold water on your body and doing that. So like at the end of every shower, I'm like, okay, I'm going to just turn it all the way to cold and I'm just going to stand here for a second. I last like 5 seconds before I just can't. How do
Well,
you
look.
build up to being able to get in an ice bath?
Name something that you couldn't do at some point in your life that you now do.
Deal with me. You deal with me on a daily basis.
Are you telling me there's nothing that you used to be incapable of that you now do?
I'm sure there's examples,
I
and I'm just
mean,
drawing a blank right
you
now.
you've given birth to 2 boys. I feel like honestly,
Yeah.
we can put up with a lot of shit, Miriam.
Yeah, no.
We can-
Okay, that's
Right.
probably the best example.
Yeah.
You birth a human,
I mean, I don't know if I want to do
and
that
you're
every
saying
day,
you can't
Kaylor.
get in cold.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it ain't even close to cold water. I mean, cold
It's
water
true.
is like a walk in the park. That's a vacation
It's true.
compared to childbirth. Look, I at one point couldn't even get on this podcast. I would have had a panic attack. Like I genuinely, oh my gosh, I genuinely had the worst social anxiety.
But we're so delightful.
Don't take it personally. No, I couldn't do that. I mean, look, if someone, I don't run marathons,
Yeah.
but I could sit here and I could sit, I'm a relatively athletic guy. If someone told me to go run a marathon right now, I'd die. But I could sit here and I could interview a marathon runner and be like, how the fuck do you do that?
Yeah.
And what do you think he would say? He would say, well, I started by going for a run.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So like,
Yeah.
and then I amped it up a little bit the next day, and then the next day, and next thing you know, I'm running a fucking marathon. So if someone says, how do you do cold therapy? It's pretty easy. Don't start with a 5-minute ice bath.
Yeah.
Start with a 30-second, like moderately cool shower.
And you essentially did that. I guess you
That's
essentially
Yeah.
that
did
I can do.
Your
That I
body
can do.
acclimatizes, but you just have to push yourself a little more, a little more. You wouldn't believe, like I do it every day. This where I'm at currently right now, the shower gets cold, like up in Canada. And today I was in, I started with a warm shower. I do this every morning. Start with a warm shower until I'm almost like sweating. And then I slowly turn it cooler and cooler and cooler until it gets as cool as it can be. I set my timer. This morning I did 3 straight minutes of just the coldest water on my body, armpits, on my neck, on my head. And I just move around. And it was easy. Not because it's actually easy, because I've worked up towards that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
well,
it's
I'll
they
keep
say
giving
it's
it a go.
Yeah, they say it's like really good for metabolic functions and
It's
everything.
incredible.
Yeah.
It is like, it is, it's unbelievable. It's really good for even mental health. You feel like, so like for dopamine, it actually like really regulates dopamine and for hours after. So you're feeling great mentally. I also think there's something to be said about waking up and the first thing you do is like something challenging and hard, and you get over it. And after that, you feel really proud. And then it's really making it way more likely that you're going to show up for yourself in a great way for the rest of the day.
I definitely do that more than I would run a marathon.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. Me too.
For
So
sure.
Kaylor, when you and I don't know how far into your business as a life and business coach. I mean, you talked about sort of realizing that you were more conservative during COVID. When you started to talk about that in your videos, did you lose clients? Did you gain clients? Was it a pretty even balance? What did you notice when you kind of came out more as a conservative?
On April 8th, 2021 at 7:30 Mountain Standard Time, I put out a 9-minute video, a 9-minute rant on COVID. And I had never spoke out about anything politically. I'd never done anything like that. And it went mega viral. And I'm talking like I went through the wildest ride of my life. I had like university professors writing dissertations on how I'm a narcissist. I had university professors going on the top podcasts in Canada to debunk my video. I had friends and family leave. There was a petition in my hometown, my home city here, to get my Instagram account shut down. I lost clients. It was intense because I was like one of the first people to go out and do a rant about it. And yeah, it was intense. I could go on about all the shit that happened. And I still to this day have lost so many people in my life. I don't believe you can lose something that wasn't aligned in the first place, though. And the fact that they're willing to turn their back on me just based on my worldview or political view or ideological perspective is ridiculous. So,
Yep.
I mean, you know, I still felt the human experience of losing people and grieving that. But I also like, I'm so much better because honestly, it's actually why I'm here right now with you guys. It's why I'm friends with some like incredible people that I never even thought I would be even connected to, because that opened up so many opportunities. Yeah, I lost a lot of shit. I still get shit. We had to, you know, a couple months ago, report a death threat to the police. I have literally every day I see criticism, judgment, abandonment, shame, people trying to shame me, rejection, and I'm here for it. I mean, like, I think for me, life in a way you could look at is just about upgrading your problems, right? So I want Jordan Peterson problems. I want Donald Trump problems. I want Elon Musk problems. I want their problems because that means that I'm just doing something more meaningful. Why does Jordan Peterson get and have to go through a lot of shit on his end and probably even be worried for his safety in a lot of cases? Why? Because he's doing something remarkable in this world. So I want that. I embrace it. I don't outright just go out and intentionally get the criticism. I know it's a byproduct of what I'm doing and I embrace it. So Yeah, it does not come without its downsides, but at the end of the day, people say that even some people call me a hero because I speak out about things on Instagram, and I'm like, my grandpa jumped out of an airplane as a paratrooper onto the beach of Normandy and got shot in the knee with a grenade shrapnel while he left his family, and his his wife had to be home with the kids and was hoping that her husband would come back. My grandpa, if he was still alive and he heard that people were calling me a hero because I say my opinion on a social media platform, he would call me a word that I might not actually say on this podcast, but it starts with a P. So I ain't some sort of hero. Look, we all need to learn how to toughen up and have the courage to
Right.
just speak out and actually say your opinion. And I know there's the mob, the bullies on the left who try and cancel you and blah, blah, blah. So what?
Yep.
Okay. It's imperative in our society that we learn to build the courage to just fucking say the truth. Our world needs it desperately.
Yeah.
You are speaking our
you
language.
totally are speaking our language. We try to tell people that all the time. And I think, we said that to somebody else today that, we get letters and emails from people all the time. They're like, we agree with what you say, but we're afraid to say it. And we're like, please don't be afraid. Like your worst enemy is fear. Like, stop being afraid. Just say it. And there's strength in numbers. And hopefully when you say it to people and we say it to people, that they feel like they're part of a community and they can just say the things. Just say the things.
It's getting better because of things like what you guys are doing and what I'm doing. Like, more people are coming out and speaking on the right, and that's why actually cancel culture and all this stuff is actually getting it's not as intense as it was a couple years ago.
I hope so. I hope
Well,
you're
people,
right.
I think, have started to resist apologizing when they do get canceled, and that's the most powerful thing that they can do is just be like, I'm uncancelable.
100%.
You just you can't. I'm not
Exactly.
apologizing for thinking the way I think or speaking my mind. I'm just not going to apologize for it.
100%.
I'm me and F off. Yeah.
That's
100%.
exactly right.
100%. I
Yeah.
love that.
Well, I knew this would be, we both knew this would be a very, very good relationship, like a perfect match made in heaven. So thank you so
This was
much,
fun.
Kaylor.
Yeah.
Can you remind everybody that's listening how they can learn more about you, how they might seek your services in terms of coaching and all of your contact info?
Yeah, so definitely go to my Instagram, the Kaylor Betts. That's Taylor with a K. So the Kaylor Betts. That's where I, do a lot of my stuff, and that's where you'll see a lot from me. And then, if you resonated with anything in terms, look, we help awake people being, we could say people on the right, people who are awake to the lies that the establishment is selling us. We help awake people win in life and business. So if you're interested in that, you can either go to the awlife.com. So the awlife.com, the awaken winning life.com, or you can go to the awbiz.com. Okay. And you're going to get more information there. We offer free calls to get on a strategy and an inquiry call to see if, winning in life and business might be, and what we do to help you do that might be the right fit for you. Okay.
Awesome.
So that's it.
Awesome. So
Well,
lovely
and we're
to talk to you.
looking, it really was. And we're looking forward to being on your show in January.
Hell yes.
So
Let's
we'll
do
talk
it. We're
to you
gonna
very
jam.
soon.
Yeah, 100%.
Super
I'm
excited. We could talk
Now,
about sunning our parts.
Promise.
That's
yeah,
right.
promise you have some things, some data to get back to me on taping your mouth, sunning the genitals.
Well, it's
maybe
winter
even
right now,
Carnivore
so I
if
don't
you
know
want to
about
make me really
maybe.
excited. Yeah.
Maybe we'll be talking about all those things. Yeah. I mean, listen, in Texas, you never know. I may be sunning some stuff outside. So we'll be talking about all those things, Kaylor.
Amazing. Okay, awesome.
All right. Great
Thank
to
you
talk
so
to you.
much.
Thank
you, guys.
you.